Hello, students. This is your flipped vocabulary lesson for Storytown Lesson 29. For this activity, you will need a vocab sheet, a pen or a pencil, and optionally, a highlighter. Let's get started. I know by now you've probably got this down, but let's go ahead and do a quick review of the directions. First, watch and listen to this presentation on your own. Feel free to pause and go back as needed. Then, write the definition or meaning of each word in the center column on your vocab sheet. And finally, write a brief response to each question that goes along with the vocabulary word. You will have to listen carefully. Let's get started. Our first word on the list this week is dejectedly. Because of that ly ending, the word dejectedly is an adverb which modifies a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. If you wanted to use this word just as a plain old adjective, you would use the word dejected, which is the past participle form of the verb deject. The meaning of our word dejectedly is disheartened or in low spirits. So if I wanted to use the word dejected or dejectedly in a sentence, I could say, after studying all night, Alan looked dejected after he received a bad grade on the test anyway. For your question for this word, please draw a picture of what a person's face might look like if they are acting dejectedly. The next word this week is doldrums, and this word is a noun, but it's usually used in a figurative sense, so it's not an actual place you would go, it's more of a metaphorical place that you imagine being. This is why. The meaning of doldrums is that low feeling you have when you are just lacking in energy. So you could use it in a sentence like this. Clarissa seemed like she was in the doldrums because nothing was going her way. So, for your question for the word doldrums, please write down what kind of weather might put you in the doldrums. The third word this week is linger. Linger is a verb, and just like with many verbs, if you want to use it as an adjective, you can change it into its present participle form and use the word lingering as an adjective or describing word. The meaning of linger is when you are slow to leave a place because you want to stay there. You can use the word linger in a sentence like this. After the movie, my family lingered to see if there would be bonus features after the credits. Now, in that third column for the response to question, please write your answer to this. Why might you linger at a party? Write your response on your vocab sheet. The next word on our vocab list this week is strenuous. Strenuous is an adjective which we know by looking at that adjective ending O-U-S. The meaning of strenuous is it describes something that takes a lot of energy and effort to complete. So if I wanted to use the word strenuous in a sentence, I could say, your muscles need more oxygen during strenuous activities. For the response to the question on your vocab sheet, please write down what type of activity that you consider to be strenuous. The next word on our list this week is abide, which is a verb or action word when it's used in a sentence. The meaning of the word abide is when you agree to follow a decision with your behavior. So here's an example of how to use the word abide in a sentence. All drivers must abide by the laws of traffic. For your question, please write down what are some classroom rules you must abide by. The next word on our list this week is banished, which is used as a verb, or because it's in the past participle form, it can also be used as an adjective in a sentence. The meaning of banished is sent away from a place and not allowed to return. if I wanted to use the word banished in a sentence, I could say, Napoleon was banished from France twice after suffering military defeats. Now, you answer this question. Why might someone be banished from a country? Write your response on your vocab sheet. The penultimate word on our list this week is misapprehension, which we know is a noun because it has that ION noun suffix on it. So a misapprehension is an incorrect assumption or mistaken belief about something. This is a really big word and we want to make sure we use it correctly. So here's an example of a time when you could use the word misapprehension. When my brother did my chores for me, I had the misapprehension that he was just being nice. However, he was trying to get me to do him a favor. Now, in the response to the question section, please write your answer to this question. How could a person's misapprehension about someone's race or gender be hurtful? Write your response on your vocab sheet. Our final word this week is imposter. And because an imposter is a person, that means that this word is used as a noun in a sentence. An imposter is a person who pretends to be someone else. So here's an example of the word imposter being used in a sentence. I got an email from a prince claiming that I could get $1 million if I sent him my bank information. But it turns out he was an imposter. Now, in the response to questions section, please write down what type of book or movie might have a character who is an imposter. That's it. So here's what's next. You can go back to review any words you do not understand. Please highlight or circle any word you still have questions about, and we will discuss them in class. Then, be ready to play a review game in class using these words, read and understand stories that use these vocabulary words in them, and use each word in an original sentence, and this will be your end of the week quiz. After that, you are all done with this lesson, and we'll see you next time.